They can blow this group wide open with a victory here today. Lotus is where we start, and a fresh face from BBL, both in the map we're seeing and the player who's opened it up, MAGNUM. Newest addition to this roster, a bit of a last-minute change. Managed to open up the B site. They're not content with just taking that control, though. Looking for the deeper push. 3 players on the other side of this smoke. Util fired, but MAGNUM, he's landed another and a third for MAGNUM. He'll eventually fall, but it looks like this round is set to land in BBL's hands. Minny, the only player standing in their way. He's been good. Perfect game plan from mates, really, to sit back and wait, play contact on click, and avoid that early burst of utility that's coming his way. But he's been forced out by the salvos and caught in the open.
The door was open, right? Could he have not just gone back through the door?
I think it just opened a second after with the salvos. Spam.
Definitely seemed like he was stuck in the mud, not having the TP online. They're getting slaughtered. That's 3 kills already. As you said, they were playing passive, looking for info. It was a slow round.
It gives them a good bit of potential to still fight.
Yeah, but more importantly, what they came out with, considering how badly that started, I think they'll be quite happy with that. Nonetheless, now looking like a much more direct take. LewN leading the charge once again. The full site cleared with no response, but the full retake looking like the plan.
Oh, they're just going in, running through the cages. It's being heard, but there's nothing in the form of a response from BBL. sociablEE and Jamppi left to pick up the pieces, and they find a double. The problem is Spike still isn't down. They're now being held by an operator in the walk through. There's no flashes left for Jamppi, so there's no way to make that fight any easier, and that results in sociablEE falling. I mean, Jamppi trapped in a corner. There's no way that they're going to let him out of here. Has to fight his way, and Minny. Another factor that you have to talk about is the fact that this squad hasn't got to play in front of that crowd. This is their game, their moment with the fans. Kada, he was spotted on the way, but still able to grab one before being dealt with. A 4v4, LewN looking for that aggression, and setting their focus on. And that leaves Zyppan, soon to be a very much spotted Zyppan. The hold by himself, he's backed off, and he should be able to get out of here, but he wants to fight, and that was a mistake with Jamppi lurking around. Okay, well, they know that Jamppi's there, so no element of surprise.
Yeah.
I think he might have hit his keyboard there.
Either that, where they were ready for somebody to be setting up and catching them out as they do.
Nice try.
And then even in this round, I think just the awareness coming out from
wanting to put even more pressure on. That's an early fight for LewN. A great idea. Doesn't quite work out. The ult sent through as well. This will slow the push of BBL, but not stop it. The drone signals the push. There's aggression behind it, and MAGNUM is the one caught as Kada sidesteps the paranoia. Util thrown his way. Some shots land as well.
More direct approach this time from the attack. I think a lot of that probably came down to, okay, my opponents have just taken a pause. Let's try and completely disrupt, but it does look very decent in mates. Seems like it's going to be the same sort of attempt. Paranoia is stellar, and in fact, it's PROFEK to take the hit. The knives eventually get the job done. I think that was a stun that came out from Jamppi to help out with that one.
I have no idea how LewN survived so long, and that's a big danger. The Blade Storm alive late into the round. Kada makes it back to heaven just in time.
Go for it.
Looks like, yeah, with that Blade Storm just on the bottom of the rope, he's caught Minny. He's looking for more and won't find Kada this time, but he's put it back to a 3v3. sociablEE in a great position, but he's been spotted now. The shots land on Click and his decoy, and the op of kamyk. This is a real danger.
He's just gonna salvo.
He's gonna salvo him off the angle, holding the stun late, and now kamyk has to peek into him. The timer ticking away, the pressure on.
What is this
look,
angle?
He snuck into the corner. sociablEE, it's a risk up against the op, and the risk that doesn't pay off. There's still time.
It's been going a while though, and look at where the remaining players are. They've realized that we could just play the backside. They'd have to try and clear absolutely everything in that late moment, and although you're going to look at this round and go, well, sociablEE only got 1 kill, the amount of time right back to that same sort of direct, aggressive position. But that's how good the stun was from Jamppi.
That's what we want to see. He's been suffering in those opening duels so far, and it looks like another on its way as Click lands the op shot into LewN, and the numbers sit with Gentlemates early on.
We've seen finally that operator have a little bit of extra impact. It's not been Click's day so far, or maybe not been his season so far, but being able to get his squad the opener, the spike still very much down within the spawn and a massive gap. Minny clearly not realizing they've just walked all the way through, expecting some piece of utility. Now that spike is being retrieved by PROFEK, and because of that, the TP from Kada not going to find too much. Okay. It seemed like Zyppan was actually aware of someone potentially peeking, but he's lost the fight anyway.
We talked about this yesterday, the idea of when you're at that disadvantage, you got to play aggressive. A great display from Jamppi of exactly that. Click already on the run through. He's got an op, but I presume a shorty in the back pocket. Finding himself a little bit of extra control. Another angle to fight from. Delay from sociablE again, looking good. Rolling Thunder deep into the spawn. It's caught two. sociablE's the one with the pressure on. No support coming his way, but he lands one before being dropped on the second peak. The defuse tapped, the pressure now on. They want to jump through and confirm that it's not being diffused. That's exactly what Jamppi does. Wait, Click's playing. You know, we heard it from McWunker a little bit earlier on that this is a guy that, a map at least, a series, a day that he expects Click to step up, but it's kamyk filling those shoes. Correct in their approach, but a little bit later in the round. Util dump is online though. Salvos force Kada back. LewN's the one to take the space, fighting his demons.
He has no fear. Like, he could be flash stunned, completely blind, monitor off, and you tell him to dash into a position and he will click. He's gonna catch another one. A couple now of opening picks that he's been able to find from pushing through B. Joins back up with the rest of the squad and gets some information. They're gonna push into this. A bit of a whiff from LewN gives a really good opportunity. It's gonna be left more so onto PROFEK, who can't quite do enough. Now left all onto MAGNUM, and he'll be players here already.
It's kamyk who's in trouble, but he is finding one before going down. A redirect now from BBL. And in fact, the reinforcements have come in. Ult is not quite going to land. They're already ahead of it and see site to be taken. Okay, BBL avoided a lot of the dangers of this round already with kamyk down. No Rolling Thunder either for mates to fight their way back into the site. And now a possibility, especially with Jamppi just two away, and now one with the plant. They can have a Rolling Thunder of their own. The swing is good, but it's PROFEK to claim the kill. Jamppi goes down after one, and Kada's stepping up to the plate.
Like, keeping the space, but more importantly, he's the guy making the calls. He's going to get wrecked within the first few seconds of the round. Wow. Immediately taken out by LewN. There will be almost free roam at the B site. They have been able to sort of split these players up. It's a very peculiar round, as they're already going to try and take some aggressive control, but not spotting anybody out. The drone will be sent through just to make sure they haven't made it to the spawn, and eventually they will group up. But so have the players of BBL.
And they're ready to pounce right back into this site, and the Heaven control being sought after. There's players awaiting their arrival. It was MAGNUM who got shut down as Jamppi runs his way back through.
He's going to be the man commanding half of the map already. That's more of what we expected to see. PROFEK attempting to get aggressive and completely denied by the IGL.
Yeah, nice shot. He's angry enough after losing that opening pick in the pistol round on C. He goes back. This time gets the better of them. LewN is caught and pushed down on. Easy kill for Click. Great paranoia from Kadavra. And now a 3 versus 5. They had decent weaponry. They can do damage. You see that with 10 HP left on Click. But it's mates who are clicking onto the heads of their opponents and leaving just 2 to stand in their way. Zyppan, having sent the drone through, they know he's a little later. Look to isolate the pick, and that player is the one with the spike. There's a couple problems brewing for GentleMates, but they're dealing with them easily. Now, only a Spectre in a 1v5.
Yeah, sociablE obviously had no idea that the spike was going to be walking through late. He's in a bit of a weird spot. Like, it's not something I necessarily expect anybody on GentleMates to clear, but I'm more so looking at what he can actually do from this position. Maybe hoping that one of the players will just walk into his crosshair. Oh, there you go. That's at least one for free. Kada will go down. Anything more. And
in fact, the first player they spot on the side of mates, it's PROFEK. But he's got lots of backup, not just the breach, but we see here LewN snuck past Mound and picks off Kadavra, one of the smoke players down. And it's Minny on the other side trying to take up space on A to recover some form of info. It looks like kamyk will be doing the same. Mates, not getting anything from the early fights.
This is the Cypher setup. So you may get a lot of ground, but it's definitely going to be noted. Well, eventually he spotted the cam, but they already have a player within sight, a player towards the door, a player rotating. There is plenty available here for BBL. A solid read, and well, misses onto the fake out, but that won't matter too much. Just looking to try and hold on to that player advantage though. Jamppi goes peeking. That's at least one back for mates.
You understand why mates don't expect him to be there. He was on C, spotted with that triple peek early on, but the rotations came in right afterwards, leaving one just PROFEK to anchor on the other side. It means there's numbers more than mates expect. Zyppan does well to find one, but he's left to 11 HP.
Okay.
Still landing another, and LewN's got the pressure on, but it doesn't.
Like, there's 4 other people. You can have one maniac.
He's going.
Here he is.
Blade Storm in the stun, but now has to back off. That's bit off more than he could chew. Look, oh my goodness!
Okay.
Back for more.
Keep it going.
It keeps on going, and there's no escape. Try as he might.
One
Kada
knife.
up against one blade, a single knife for LewN. Oh, and it won't land. It won't find its mark.
He's human. He's human.
He's done enough already, Tom.
See, one lunatic. It's okay. Oh, there's now a full squad waiting on the other side, and there's nobody currently on C. They know their A. They have all the information, and we are what, 25, 30 seconds into the round? Like, he's still going, because also they don't have a sentinel.
That's the problem.
So there's nothing to hold him back from walking all the way up, other than his opponent's going, well, they're not going to be this disrespectful, right? They're not just going to walk all the way behind us. And even at this stage, Zyppan hasn't turned around, and that's a spike on the deck. He's even hit the tag up. Rolling Thunder's gone through to catch the remainder of the players, and LewN's kind of just sitting there going, well, guys, I got the spike. There's no one else here.
LewN! They've ulted just LewN, and they didn't even get him! Oh, it's a disaster! Kada
hello.
caught before he TPs, but the rest start to pick up pieces, start to grab a few picks here and there. The ult, though, grabs the information. MAGNUM left alone.
Try and clutch things out. We've seen far crazier things from this man in the past, but it looks like the mates players are going to look to try and take this.
Those flanks to come into play. Click pops the ult off rip here, and a lot of info gained as far as that A hold. One up in heaven, and they will catch LewN.
Tried to re-aggress. MAGNUM's done well. Been able to hold on to as good as done if they manage to get the spike down.
I think the only person they saw as well was Minny on the cam before he broke it, and that's going to tell you that, okay, it could be a lurk. Oftentimes they will send Minny to do that, especially after opening pick. Early rotations coming through from BBL, but yeah, the position of kamyk, it should catch them off. It does. They go to clear the close corner. He's a little further back. Then Kada swings in to close out that second duel. Sociable and Jamppi, weapons in hand, economy low, and definitely Sociable and MAGNUM looking like they'd like to carry some weapons through to the next round. With the Viper's Pit to fight through as well, they've definitely made the right call here.
Difference not as far as you might think. That last round probably would have put the game to bed if they didn't manage to turn it into their favor. Okay, Viper's Pit will be used, but Armageddon's still available for the next round. Ultimate's not in a particularly good spot for BBL, so if they can cycle these nicely, they can get themselves into a position where they're within 1 or 2 rounds. And the economy, it's not in too bad a spot. Like, BBL should be able to get a purchase into the next, but it might not be as nice as they'd like.
It's only going to be PROFEK that has a chance to stop this, and a great fake from Minny. This is going to keep them in position.
Trying to sell that ruse. Here comes all the information. This will be where BBL start hightailing it to the other side of the map, but that's a lot of control lost. And PROFEK needed to make sure if he does stick around that all he's really doing is finding an opener. Fantastic stuff to deny the spike. That will make things that little bit more awkward. Rotations needing to be made from players that were already out of the site to try and get that spike down. In the meantime, the aggression of Click was basically just a bodyguard, trying to stop them getting in towards that site. But this now means that all the mates players are stuck within.
Oh! Nice shot by Minny. That was through the smoke. I think the second was too. And he's finding it.
Could always be a little scuffed. Oh, that's not the start they were looking for. I think LewN, I think he's one off the Blade Storm, so the goal was for him to basically fight forward with a rifle, gets one, goes down, that's fine. Instead, he didn't get one, has gone down, and, well, it's not so fine.
Especially here on the defense, he's been doing great when it comes to those early fights. I know he was struggling a lot on the attack. Again, it makes sense for how they've been structuring their site takes. He's always the man taking the risks. A lot of weaker weapons for BBL. Means you really want to play this with the numbers. Group up and approach these fights together. MAGNUM down to 50 as he swings, thanks to the decay.
Hope that it can do the same again, and he has the full force of this Gentlemate side up against him. Rolling Thunder, perfectly placed a chance. He's only going to get the one, but doesn't want to overcommit this time.
It's only one pick for BBL. They need that little bit more look at the disadvantages when it comes to weaponry. 3 SMGs to play with. The Bladestorm for LewN can at least make up for that somewhat. The aggression here for PROFEK, trying something new, but Kada's watching it. The Outlaws trained in on the angle, and it's just one shot needed. Back into even footing. But this position from sociablE, not expected, not detected, and he's out of there for free. 2v4, great stun. And they're gonna be sent running backwards where sociablE comes to meet them. Kada with it all to do. 3 to pick up, or we are going to overtime. And it's again anyone's game.
He's already tagged, 70 HP. Magnum's SMG will become ever the more deadly, but Magnum with that extra experience knows, okay, I'm not giving him a 1v1. I'm not giving him any sort of chance. With the time ticking away, they can literally sacrifice player after player off that clock. Magnum can run in on the last second just to make sure there's no opportunity for a plant round already done. The other 2 just not going to be facing. Okay, the other 1 not going to be facing. Feels like Pal could really use his notebook back. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll put this on me.
Position. Kada, stun is sublime, but it's only going to be the 1. Zyppan tries to continue, but it's LewN to fight back. 2 impactful kills, 1 away from having that Bladestorm. We've already seen what he can do with that. Unfortunate for Zyppan as well, because he got his ult online from the death. The defense, though, are not just sitting pretty. They're making a move.
As they should, and the group up here. BBL are looking to move towards that broken door. There's 2 players, aggressive, holding on to that control. Flash is good, but Minny's better. It's 4 for LewN, an ace needed, steps heard, and the stun subsiding. kamyk standing in his way, and he's
trades pretty much up until the last couple. It was players peeking on his teammates, and he's just making sure that that trade is instantaneous. Solid reactions. An ace for LewN. They need to turn it on the defense, though. The attack side rounds, their opponents are running away with it, but they get aggressive and they win that early fight. The hero of the last round will have to watch as a spectator, but more importantly, mates have to win a 3v4.
Yeah, he's watching on, but they've got the advantage, and it gets even better now. kamyk trying to make that fake pressure on A, break the trap and take a fight. Well, he's done both of those things, but the fight didn't go his way. Kada and Zyppan to pick up the pieces. 6 rounds in a row, and they looked set to just tap it in. But BBL, they've had a resurgence right at the final whistle. And from downtown, it looks like they're set to score this map. 13-12, 1 more, 2 more picks, and it's all theirs. The spike's still not planted as mates desperately try to find an advantage, force a fight, but when the duels come up, it's nothing but BBL! 7. And I've put
7 for LewN.
But a lot of, there we go. A lot of that was the openings on the attack side where he lost. I think he was 2 and 6 coming out of that, so a much better defensive side showing from him, and a chance to get another opening duel on the board. Win or lose, it's up to you, and well, it's not an opening, but he gets the pick anyways. A close fight for PROFEK, but Minny's managed to get the better of him, and LewN doesn't last long in the smoke.
Solid work. BBL versus Liquid. Did incredibly well on the defense. And a lot of it revolved around aggression, and more so having those retakes in their favor somehow. But this one's actually going very well. Through the smoke, they've managed to pick off 2. Zyppan already tagged at least a little bit, and I don't know if they will have seen him already. Kada has retrieved that upgraded pistol, but needs so much more to be
packing a punch on LewN and sociablE. A Spectre for Magnum. Mates still need to be careful, and it looks like BBL are taking the fight to them. The biggest weapon they've got, the Guardian, right down the bottom of mid already. A stun lined up off contact to the cam. I love this. It's beautiful to start with, but the stun doesn't ever get fired out. It's a little late.
Even still, an early trade. You might think with the gun being dropped, it's not the best, but in these sort of scenarios, just whittling away at your opponents can do quite a lot. A chance for sociablE. He's going to win that fight. Now, that's actually the lurking jet of Click. Now, the gun's not necessarily going to be retrieved, and what, straight through the smoke. That's a little bit overzealous for sociablE. Maybe trying to get back in just that little bit too quick. Now puts things back to a 3v3 for mates.
Dropout's dangerous. There's so many players here. And Minny does well to look up above. Taking down Jamppi. The easy fights on the player dropping, and PROFEK left with it all to do. Look at the HP. They're all so desperately low.
I think also the cam, there we go, will give them all that they need. Can Magnum actually get this pick off? No. The bullet's completely missing, eventually gets the job done, and now they have the info on the B side. But mates have decided this is the moment to move. This is the moment to try and get into that site, get into the post plant. But with the aftershock going in and LewN still holding that backline, there's nowhere for them to go.
Spike planted.
Plan secured, but yeah, like you said, fully boxed in. They've chosen the better of the three options, moving towards just one player. Just LewN. PROFEK taking some control. That's going to force the movement on the other side. kamyk manages to take him down without a lick of damage, but he's got 4 more coming his way. Try as he might, the shots aren't landing. The big swing coming. As all
BBL have not been doing that. They have left the Cypher setup. They've sit pretty. And that's the spike, by the way.
Yeah, that's the info for sure. Full commitment from Mate seems to follow that spike right into the A side. Bladestorm looking to pick up a few as it's kamyk. The draw blood, rifles in hand. Down goes Kada. The swing and the smoke. Not working out with sociablEE on the other side and picking up 3 on a breach. Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, LewN doing his best Jamppi impression. He's gone aggressive.
That would have been 2.
That it isn't a 5 versus 4. LewN in the dirt already. But the push up from Magnum has blown this round wide open. kamyk's, he's gone down as well.
They don't even really need to play this aggressively either, because they have Rolling Thunder available for a retake if they need it. I wonder if there's just going to be an attempt to try and find a pick off contact for sociablEE, or if he's literally just looking to hold on to ground.
Yeah, especially with that Hunter's Fury just one away. Good chance if he finds one that this round is already done.
Oh no.
But it's the flank from Magnum. They're not even looking. And they turn to see him at just the last moment. Now they're looking the wrong way when sociablEE peaks. Being played like a fiddle. And it's only one left. It's Click, and he is boxed in on another level.
Okay.
1 found, 20 seconds. Spike needs to be planted. Or all of these players need to be dropped. And PROFEK, patient as always. He spotted him running up the ramp. And LewN, well, he can fall back onto his Bladestorm if he needs to. Both shots fired out, but he gets aggressive, hoping that could be their trigger point. Hunter's Fury, it's good again! He keeps doing this! How? The blind Hunter's Furies, and they keep hitting their mark! Zyppan down to half, 45 HP, no shields. And then that's gonna make it so much more difficult for anyone else. Click down to 48 as well. And that blind might have landed, but while they're looking forward, it's the player behind them they should be worried about. Bladestorm for the double, Rolling Thunder.
Just pistols once again. That's why they did it.
Yep.
It's not just the 1 round, but this is the potential for them to get to 9 on their defensive half.
The ult economy trade-off for the round win, for the economy advantage as well. Jamppi getting 1 with utility. And Mate's yet to land a shot.
Okay.
There's 2 though. Now, it seems like they're in a little bit of trouble. Jamppi able to land 1, but caught out. And a 2 versus 3 that they're left in. BBL facing their first real struggle. The retake onto this site. No real impactful utility to help them. And with PROFEK in his shadow form, no chance of a trade on Magnum. A 1v3 needed. And keep in mind, like we said, Mates had a resurgence towards the end of the first half of Lotus. That got them the opportunity to at least push to OT.
Picked up. Hunter's Fury utilized. LewN's going to try and sit within the corner. He's managed to dodge them, managed to get behind, but it's only going to be the 1. Spike dropped to the deck, and PROFEK just watching on the cross. I don't know if they even realize that he's here. He's managed to sneak into this position, and if they try and walk forward, it could be a problem. Minny is waiting for, but that's a spike down again. A second time that it's been dropped, and sociablEE's done it. That should be the round done. It just has to be sprinted for by Minny, and all the sociablEE needs to do is just buy enough time to stun. I don't even think he's got this. No. It won't matter anyway.
The jump there. The jump as the stun came in, it cost him the opportunity.
But also after having that Turkish derby at the end, he didn't want to leave it all down to that. Even still, we've seen this squad fight back. Click with a solid pick, but already the opener going in the other direction, the right Click. Not so forgiving at times. kamyk has done well. A quiet performance from him so far. An uncharacteristic one on a map that's been his favorite, but maybe this could be his round. Even still, though. Oh, he's going to get picked off. Sociable is just on fire right now.
His utility, his ult says shock darts through the wall. He's grabbing them to reveal. Helping
into a trap. They have won every single pistol, even from a 2 versus 4 in the last. Already seeing a multitude. That's LewN gone. Not a bad start, but the trades are coming back thick and fast. 3-3. Rotation coming in for support, but Minny's taken a lot of damage. Zyppan's done well. His second kill, I believe, in the map so far. Really rough series for him so far, but still a chance to wake up.
Yeah, mates have come back flooding into that B site, but BBL seem to be looking to take this elsewhere. A trap and a cam in their way. But mates haven't got the read on time. Pacing here for BBL might get them a plant. I don't see a stun online for kamyk. I see a flash, but he goes swinging. He's made a mistake. But luckily, it's not punished too heavily. Sociable, the man of the hour. The one being delivering. He's got a shock dart and you're low. Run the hell away. His utility is hit every single time, but look at this. He's not content to just play that position. He could have planted, but instead he goes pushing deep into the spawn and realizes they've gone running. They've taken this elsewhere, and I think he'll put 2 and 2 together and realize they're wrapping around on long. Instead, he's going to go to the A site, a narrow margin. If they'd ran here, they'd be crazy. And he realizes that he should have a free plant with a shock dart still online. And so, look, 35 HP combined top.
He could right-click, kill them both.
Exactly.
Oh, and he's got it spot on where they're going. I don't know if he will have heard any steps, but getting into this close corner, it's going to make things so much more awkward. If they don't clear this, he's dead for sure. Minny, round the corner he goes, a chance for him.
And they've just put the second in on top of it. The casket soon to be closed. Their playoffs dreams fading to nothingness.
Oh, hello. I think if you told gentlemates at the start of the season that a 28-year-old making his debut in the league would be absolutely farming them, I'd say, well, Bosa's having a good game. But no, it really is a ridiculous performance. Someone that I think was maybe a bit of a gamble for BBL to bring in, but someone who has been delivering when they need him the most. A post plant. Of course, they've gone heavier on the rifles. The conversion here is more important than economy or anything else. And for mates, this is a full investment. This is not an eco. This is not a save. This is everything they've got.
Yeah, they can't afford to allow 12 on the board, but on the retake, they meet Sociable again. The fight not going their way as he picks them off 1 by 1.
Nobody wants to get Def and Click getting aggressive, and he's met with LewN. He tried to go toe-to-toe with the Turkish Jet, and unfortunately, that has not gone his way. The players within the site, I'll be honest, there's no better way to put it, they are having a howler. Zyppan has been wrecked. Guess what? He's been caught. kamyk is gone as well. And for Minny and Kada, a 2v5 retake with weak weaponry. I don't know how Minny's won that kill from there, but it's at least the smallest bit of hope.
Mates have got to be traumatized by that Hunter's Fury. Every time you hear it, there's bodies on the floor. And another put to bed by